Passing is crisp and sharp. Played out towards the right wing. Opts for safety. It's been a pretty high-octane start, at least from one side's perspective.
I know it's still early, but they're showing the better signs. No caution from them.
Now he's off and running. Now it's Pepe. Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Can he latch on to this? Fofana. Neither side yet able to force a breakthrough here. That's Pepe. In the end, they found themselves penned in, nowhere to go. And he's intervened well there.
Ivory Coast clearly are trying to establish themselves as a team that likes to retain the ball, Peter.
And it's a good watch, Jim, isn't it?
Well, it is.
And the shot! And it's hit the woodwork and out! And that is expertly dealt with. Kessié. Pepe. Nicely spread. Oh, that's fabulous. Amad. Lobbed in behind.
Whatever happens, that's the kind of movement which raises hope.
Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. Can he get it through? Can he get onto this? It's a promising position. Very nicely done. Oh, it's played into the area. Kosunu with the clearance. And he was alert to it. Goes for goal! Kosunu gets it clear. Stood up well to him there. Amad. Guesson. Some excellent tackling here, and that one a perfect example. Still looking for the first breakthrough, and it is nearly half-time now. Ndika and Kessié. Fofana tries to pass it through. Camara. Half-time getting close now. No, not quite on the same wavelength. Amad. And it's Fofana. Kosunu. Ndika. To Fofana. Pepe. Now it's Amad. Kessié. And we hit half-time. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means. The intensity levels are there. We've just lacked that telling breakthrough moment. Reflections on the first half?
Yeah, it's a half that's had a limp finish after a decent start, so the manager has to re-energise and re-enthuse his players to come back out pumped.
So we are still where we were at the beginning. It is 0-0 at the break.
Souhaitons tous la bienvenue à nos joueurs.
There's the start of the second half. 0-0, and we're at the halfway point. Takes the shot! Fofana. Camara. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Threads one in, and he's picked it up out wide. Some good work on the right flank here. Looking for options for movement. Nice interception, his positioning was spot on. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
He made it look a bit predictable.
He's shifting through the gears here. Up towards the hour mark, and still no goals. Bumps him off it and wins back the ball. And it's Fofana. Nicely... Gissel! Brilliant! A finish right from the top draw. So smooth, a signature finish.
Well, it always comes down to the telling final pass, and that was a beauty.
Ivory Coast have penetrated for the first time.
Well, when the going gets tough, etc., they can still turn this round, I think.
He's been bundled over, that is a foul. No second thought, a straight red card. So seemingly that was deemed a denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity.
Well, he had a decision to make, Peter, and it's worked out badly.
So time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while.
Well, Peter, I don't think there's anything tactical or injury-related here. I think it's just all about the...
Pepe! Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, there'll be no accusations of a lack of effort. They're giving as good as they get when it comes to chances.
Oh, this is a great position.
Well, that's certainly more like it. They can't let the intensity drop now, Peter.
Well, they're looking a whole lot more urgent now.
You know, the interest value in this game might just take off from here.
Gasol, he's had a shot! Good run, lovely take, but that is where it stopped.
That's really well played. It's just the type of run you need. Off the shoulder of the last defender, stay onside.
Camara. And Kessié. Just about up to 75 minutes. Oh, this looks sharp. Well, that tackle was certainly sturdy. Little doubt, that is a foul. And he's going to have his name taken. Well, it looks like he's picked up a bit of a knock from that challenge. Fofana. Ndika. Played back to the goalkeeper. Kosunu. And Doué. Ahmad.
There's a real tenacity about their defensive play, and it's up close and personal.
Challenge just a bit on the firm side. Oh, no question, that's a foul. And he is going into that little black book. Kessié. Oh, he's caught him there, it's a free kick. He knew what was coming, that's a yellow card. And he skips past his man.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
Can he get on the end of this? Time is running out here.
All they need is one big chance, and it may do the trick. I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
He's chosen to go back. Shot at goal! And it's in! We thought it was over! It's all square once more! Oh, one moment you're in possession, the next you're picking the ball out of your own net. That one will sting.
The danger was always there, Peter. We all knew they'd be pouncing on any slip or any sort of indecision. They need to sharpen up or it's going to happen again.
All square again into the dying minutes.
It just goes to show you what determination can achieve. OK, there isn't much time left, but if we have to find a winner now, there's no question who I'll be backing.
Oh, good take in a good area. Here comes the corner. Kessié! Harmlessly behind.
Attention, changement.
So now we're going to get those changes we have been expecting. Ivory Coast have it back and can go again. Looking for the run. That's been slipped through. This looks promising. Chance for a shot! And that may well be that. That is that. So it is just one step forward. 3 would have been ideal, but this is going to have to do for now. Well, what are your thoughts on today's game then, Jim?
I don't think they'll be too upset about that. 1 point is okay, and steering clear of an opening loss keeps the mood in the dressing room upbeat and confident that better results await.
Voilà, cette rencontre s'achève donc sur un score nul. Nos joueurs ont tout essayé, ça aurait pu passer, mais il faudra s'en contenter.
So welcome one and all to our live coverage of the ongoing group stage here, the tournament making steady progress towards its knockout phase. We'll be ready to go once the final checks are carried out. We have a hugely expectant crowd here. We just hope that the game lives up to the atmosphere. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself.
Et voici maintenant la composition de
It's a
l'équipe.
formation, this, Jim, with a packed midfield, isn't it?
Yeah, and it allows for a lot of flexibility, Peter. You know, combative without the ball, expansive with it. It's a system that's naturally going to ask an awful lot from your central striker, but also for anyone positioned out wide. You're the key supply route, and at the same time, the defensive cover. So, effectively, you're the lungs and legs of the team.
We have already started here.
Well, he was given the time and room initially to hold on to the ball, but eventually he was squeezed that bit harder and the task became too much. I think he's got to be a little quicker in his distribution then and get others into the match.
That's a good intervention. That was what he had to make in the face of danger that was growing. Passing is crisp and sharp. Can he get on the end of this? Can he finish? And it's hit the woodwork and out! And he's forced to go back. Anything, Jim, to pick out of these early exchanges?
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up.
He's tried one! And that is certainly not what he had in mind.
Well, I suppose he was being urged to shoot. Maybe the crowd will stay a little quieter next time.
Still goalless. Gets a good foot in there.
Gabon clearly are trying to establish themselves as a team that likes to retain the ball, Peter.
And it's a good watch, Jim, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it's always a pleasure for me to see a team move the ball in silky fashion like this. But you know what's coming next, Peter. It has to be with a mean cutting edge. They've got to make this nice and quick.
Pass is coming off in quick succession here. Oh, that's a key interception. Looking to play him in. Tries to play it through. Pings in across. Oh, smashing head. Oh, he's hit the bar! Oh, what has happened here? Little doubt who they'll be aiming at here.
Well, I can imagine it's going to be quite a scramble for the ball, but we know who has the magnetic impact.
And now a sudden chance to counter. Lemina. 15 minutes till half-time. Foot in. And the pass is intercepted. Lemina. Oh, it's a promising build-up, this. Plenty of really nice passing. Played out to the left flank. Oh, well played, well sorted out. Lemina. Passing is crisp and sharp. He's shifting through the gears here. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Still waiting for the game's first breakthrough goal. He's having a go! It's off target and by quite a way.
Well, let's just consider that one a rangefinder, Peter. It certainly wasn't troubling the goalkeeper.
Apindangoy. And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Lemina stood up well to him there. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. There's the whistle for half-time. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means. The intensity levels are there. We've just lacked that telling breakthrough moment. What have we learned from the first 45 minutes?
Solid. Very solid, actually, Peter. They haven't made much of an impression at the other end, but defensively I think they've got an awful lot right, completely nullifying their opponents. Now they just need to focus on getting a little more creative.
So we reach the halfway point, and neither side have yet been able to force the issue. It's 0-0. So we're just settling back into this second half.
Well, both sides are eager to get going. Here's hoping that it's a good sign. Things are about to change. We need a little more life in this.
Tries a shot! Lemina. That's a sharp pass. Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. Oh, well played. Still waiting for the game to take off here, 0-0. He is through here. Looking for the run, and here's Aubameyang. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
And that's been won straight back. It is still anyone's game, 0-0. Not the most accurate pass. Lemina. And it's Lemina. Pass is just off target. Lemina in with the challenge. And it's made its way to it. Decent chance! Oh, the ball's run loose here. Danger averted for now. Lemina. Aubameyang. Out to the left it goes. Oh, no joy this time. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Looking tidy in possession here. Distributed tidily. Flings in across. There's the header!
He has saved the goalkeeper's blushes there. What great defending.
Now that's well seen too. And no, that is pretty much the end of that. Bruno Aquilmanga. That is good alertness. Looking for a runner. Nice interception. His positioning was spot on. Great vision.
Don't you just love the level of intensity here? Neither is prepared to back down, and to be honest, that's how it should be.
He's trying his best to keep it in play here. That has been slung wide. And that is expertly dealt with.
There's nothing more infuriating for a fan than seeing passing without penetration. They're just stuck in a rut.
And he's being shifted off it. It looked as though that might lead to something quite promising, but it turned out that that was not the case. He's having a shot! That's a half-decent try.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a bit disappointed with that, Peter. You would have fancied him to at least hit the target.
Changement en cours.
Final checks on the touchline. A change about to occur.
Well, they shouldn't be dawdling at this stage. They need to get the ball in the mixer, and quickly.
Good ball, good take. Nicely weighted ball. And time is up. So we finish as we started. Try as they might, neither was able to break through. And so the enduringly thrilling ambience of the group game upon which everything hinges. Their existence in this competition is down to this game. Just listen to that noise. This place is definitely up for it. Let's hope we get a contest worthy of the setting. So they need a win. They need a win to get them over the line.
Well, Peter, there's good pressure and bad, but this leans very much to the former, and a big chance to take everything on a level. These players have to embrace and tackle the task ahead with the courage and confidence they've grown for a time like this. I expect them to swim and not sink, and they won't need a rubber ring here either.
Well, if you did just miss it, we are up and running already. And it's made its way to him. It's not an especially good pass, that. He's going for goal! He's got away with one there.
That's great reading of the game, and it led to a decent chance. Cracking aggression.
Not the most convincing of passes. Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. Gets into some space, played in deep. Some good work on the right flank here. Anything, Jim, to pick out of these early exchanges?
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up. Well, he was given the time and room initially to hold on to the ball, but eventually he was squeezed that bit harder and the task became too much. I think he's got to be a little quicker in his distribution then and get others into the match.
So it is still 0-0. Now there's a fine ball. There's the shot! Well, the finish certainly didn't match the build-up.
He did well there, held his run enough to ensure he didn't stray offside.
That's a risky ball, you've got to say. Well, that tackle was certainly sturdy. And the shot! Well, that pass isn't the best. Shapes to shoot!
That's just playing it safe and simple.
That was good pressing, forced the error to put an end to it before things could get even more threatening. Oh, that's a key interception. Anguissa. Out to the left it goes. He is through here. Now, can they get him away? Big chance! Goal!
Well, I think it's pretty obvious, Peter, that this emphasises the importance of having willing runners who want to go behind that defence. One good ball, and they're in.
Cameroon have taken the lead.
Yeah, but I think they all know too well that things are far from done here, and while there's never a good time...
Good chance here! Decent hit and on target.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
And no surprise, that's a booking. Wu. Nicely aimed pass. Played out to the left flank. Nkudu could try cutting inside here. Well, that's pretty clear. It is a foul. And that's going to be a booking.
Well, I think the alternative was to stand there and do nothing while he tried to score, and obviously he's not going to allow that, Peter, is he?
Defending of the desperate variety. Pass somewhat off target. Goes for a shot! And he has kept it out somehow.
It's quite a show he's putting on here. This is excellent work.
They've played it short. The ball goes in. And again! And now they can spring out of defence. Over to the left. Looking to play him in. Can he latch on to this? Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Great ball, and he's in here. Shoots! There's a goal! They have hauled themselves right back into it.
Well, it looks like we have ourselves a real game here now, Peter. They've been rewarded for their courage, for their attitude, for their application, and now they'll want another.
So that goal then.
I love the technique in that finish. There was a concentration to keep it down.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Well, that certainly raised the temperature in here, and both sides are looking to up their game accordingly.
Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Opts for safety.
Wu.
And it's been shipped out wide.
Wu.
And here's Abubakar. Well timed, excellent interception. He shifted it to the flank. Nicely weighted ball. Oh, good take in a good area. Anguissa. And there is the half-time whistle. So it's all squared. Neither side has been able to make a telling difference, but it hasn't been for the lack of trying. So there was the first half.
Well, for us neutrals, this is fantastic. If you're a fan from either side, it's unpleasant. And as for the managers, check your heart rate.
Well, it's been intriguing stuff so far, and it's 1-1 at the break. Both teams hoping for a pick-me-up in the second half. And we are back on the way. Anguissa. Oh, easy pickings there. He has found the way through. Has a shot! Oh, that's fabulous! Sumptuous finish, an absolute joy! They've done it! It was coming! They have their reward! A horrible blip, a situation utterly avoidable that has resulted in considerable embarrassment.
Yeah, they were made to pay for not moving the ball smartly enough through a very strong pressing wave.
So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here?
Yeah, I always felt this was coming. There was a clear increase in both intensity and tempo. Now all they need is to try and maintain it.
Could move up a gear here. And he cuts out the supply. Now that looks a decent ball. Oh, he's found support out wide. Oh, no shortage of confidence there.
Well, that was really good running. The more he moved with it, the more he realised that taking the shot was his only option.
And it's been taken short. And now a sudden chance to counter.
That dugout has had some relief at least, but now the harder work starts. They've got to push for more.
.60 minutes played.
They've got to make this nice and quick.
And they've got a throw.
Vai-se proceder uma substituição. O número 17, Mexer. Número 24.
That's a good ball out wide.
Tomar os seus lugares é número 5, número 15.
Aimed beyond the defence. Showing good feet. Threads one in. Ball swung in. Expertly cut out. Really nicely done. Anguissa looking understandably energised after his goal. He's on it. Can he get away? Good defending there, they've slammed the door in the faces of the opposition. And this is Abubakar.
Cameroon really are going about things in the right fashion, Peter. It's great to see.
This is a really front-footed approach.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
Anguissa. Into the last quarter of an hour. He's in plenty of space here. Real chance! Big relief, it just needed better contact.
I just wonder what was on his mind there. Should have put his foot right through it.
So now we're going to get those changes we have been expecting.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
He can run onto that. He's in space and looking for options. The pressing's intense, and it's paid off.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
It's come through and he's had a quick look inside. He's got away. Shot, surely! And that could come back to haunt them.
Such a good opportunity, Peter. I hope he doesn't end up regretting that miss.
Well, it is a narrow lead, but they are clinging on to it right now. Very much into the last knockings. Oh, lovely feed. He is such a good mover. Corner it is. Little doubt who they'll be aiming at here.
Well, I can imagine it's going to be quite a scramble for the ball, but we know who has the magnetic impact.
Board shows there will be 3 extra minutes. Great defending, strong and determined. Played out to the right. He's got plenty of space out wide here. That's that, the end. Well, this is the sight of a dream fulfilled. They have made it through the group stage successfully, with the glamour and the glory of the knockout phase to come. So there it is. What struck you most about that?
Well, I would say, Peter, that it's not the ideal way to go through, but I'm sure if you were offered a passage to the knockout stages, you would take that.
Caros espectadores, uma grande salva de palmas para os nossos jogadores.